How's it going, friends? Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're keeping hydrated. I have not been, which is why I guzzled like 4 cups of water before this even started. Hi. We are here. We are here to play some Mind of the Martyr. We are here to play some Dungeons and Dragons, and it is going to be interesting. That's for sure. I have like 6 pages of notes up in the background that you can't see, because I have no idea what's going to happen during this little chat. Anything could happen, so I'm like, I need to be prepared. We're going to jump straight into that. But first and foremost, I do need to quickly bring up a couple of things that help the channel keep going here at Friends Who Roll Dice. First are the wonderful folks at Dice Envy. There is an affiliate link, which, fingers crossed, the command should work if Nightbot is being merciful. Let's actually check that, shall we? Dice Envy. Hey, it did work. That's always fun. Yeah, so go ahead and check out the affiliate link there in the chat. Dice Envy are a dice company that do a fantastic collection of various different dice, whether that be metal dice, plastic dice, wood dice, whatever color and design you can possibly imagine. There is probably one on there to suit you. And yeah, if you purchase through the affiliate link, it helps out the channel, so go ahead and check them out. They are fantastic. We also have the wonderful folks at Grinding Coffee, who are a Black LGBT plus owned coffee company. Their blends are fantastic. They have some amazing flavors, some amazing mixes, and there is also sample packs that you can grab, so you can grab a little bit of everything at the same time. Coffee has been my lifeblood for the past couple of weeks now, so I drink a lot of it, so you can trust my opinion. It's good, I promise. You'll be supporting us if you go ahead and throw FWRD. That's FWRD, all in caps. That'll get you some money off your purchase. They'll go towards helping us out, and you'll be supporting a marginalized business. So yeah, go ahead and check them out as well. Finally, we are also a Roll20 Spotlight stream. So we are partnered with the wonderful folks at Roll20. Roll20 are an online tool set you can check out at roll20.org that bring your pen and paper RPGs to life. And they have a lot of very, very cool updates coming up in the near future, and a bunch of interesting creators involved in some new projects. You should definitely go ahead and check them out at roll20.net. This is how we roll. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the actual game. So, what do you remember, Oren, from last time?
What? Sorry, what happened? Oh, you want to know? You want to know what happened? Oh, by the sisters. Let's see. We settled into our new place. It was dubbed Stonehaven by Mara. There was a fox, I believe. Something. It's a very large creature. Oh, I'm sorry. My memory's a bit hazy. There was, perhaps we spoke, but he was still in me head. And then we were gonna talk about something, but then there was a black lick. Oh, by the sisters, I drank Siren Tear again, didn't I? Fucking hell. Mara, do you think you could help me out on this?
Okay, so here's what really happened. So we claimed Stonehaven and we remodeled it so it fits us all. After we got done with that, my friend Shikari, who is a Riskin, which is a giant lynx that is fox-colored and has some foxy features. Anyway, Shikari is native to my home of Endir, and he arrived bearing a letter from Endir saying that people had started disappearing there, and that all the heads of state from all the different countries were gathering in Scythia to discuss the disappearances, and that they wanted me to be basically a special envoy, along with someone who's going to join us from Endir. So I gathered everyone together to tell you all this news, including Logan, who was formerly known as Perhaps.
Oh, that's right.
And we discussed what information we should pass on. And Jacaranda said that she would say that she had a vision about all the information that we saw when we were with Harmony, so that we don't have to bring Harmony up. So the plan is to travel to Scythia, tell Queen Elowyn what we know before all the other leaders arrive. And then for the rest, we kicked Orin out to discuss some other things that we will take care of at some point.
That Orin definitely doesn't know about because they were barely conscious past a certain point.
Bloody sirens, dear. My head hurts so much.
And Jacaranda did scry on Orin's friend who disappeared, correct?
Yes.
And I saw like a weird room, and it looked like it could be in the same location that we saw in Harmony's pyramid temple thing.
This
similar aesthetic.
Yeah, this strange area with this weird aesthetic, and the individual you were scrying on in some kind of almost like a stasis chamber of sorts. You saw them in. They are not harmed, they are not dead, but they are not breathing or moving or doing much of anything. So yeah.
And Logan said it could have been in a ship or in the other realm, and that the people are either being used for food or are being taken somewhere that's going to be a long travel.
Yes, exactly that. Exactly.
So
that.
we're not lying about the vision thing.
We are not. We are just leaving out certain details that begin with an H.
It is very kind of true.
It is very much mostly true.
And Logan's going to come with us to answer questions.
Indeed.
Is
Yeah.
that Logan's cousin? Or sorry, yeah, is that perhaps cousin? Indeed.
Indeed.
We can't name them all after just random inferrals. That's not... We can't... No. That's the other one trapped in the tube.
Challenge
Indeed.
accepted.
God damn it.
Nope, that's why Orin doesn't know where the damn cone is.
Yeah. Challenge accepted, but it might be quite hard. But yes, so even though a month had passed, you had put a good amount of work into Stonehaven and have been enjoying it for the last few days. You received this summons. You decided to go ahead and leave it for at least a day. Maybe, perhaps, Orin won't be too good on the morning, but at least it'll be some time travel. You can go ahead and shake off the horrendous hangover you probably have. Especially considering you failed the con save.
Yeah.
During the night, as you find rest taking you, Jacaranda, can you make me a wisdom check for me? Not a save, a check.
I can. 13. completely forgot how to do it for a second.
13. Okay.
Oh wait, 18 because I didn't add the thing. I can do this. 18.
It's been a while since we played, and you've traveled, so like it's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, 18. You find yourself resting as you normally do, and you find yourself again, as you normally do, just slowly but surely taking in the experiences of the area around you. Something else kind of pokes at you for a bit. There's something in your mind that kind of just pokes and prods for a moment. Nothing particularly malicious. You've definitely felt this feeling before, but you can feel something beginning to manifest again for just a moment. There's some thoughts that carry through. You reach out just to kind of try and grasp onto whatever they're trying to tell you, and unfortunately it kind of slips away just before you're able to fully grasp on it. But it's happened before. You're sure you'll be told something eventually. It continues to dance in your mind for just a little while before it subsides and you go back to your usual rest. The morning finds you, most of you, well. There's a nice calm, breezy morning. Nice clear skies, sunshine. You are very much in summer now, so the breeze is quite alleviating from some of the pure warmth. Jacaranda, this is your time. Like, the skies are clear always. It is a wonderful experience, but perhaps not so much for our monk friend venturing out into the light for the first time.
Hey, sisters. We should really destroy that stuff.
If you're like in your quarters, Dawan is going to bring you some tea to help with whatever you are feeling.
Oh, you are a right angel. Thank you so much.
Yes, it seems like that's quite some potent stuff.
Yeah, we found it. Back in the day, Athenos made us do a drinking competition with it. And it even knocked him on his ass, and he's on tea, so it says a lot.
At least that was the last of it.
Well, it'll pull it up, and there was this much in it before, and now there's that much. Like, he barely drank any.
Oh, by the gods, that is some potent stuff.
It's quite powerful. May come in handy from time to time, but oi. Oi. Just oi.
Well, we've all gathered.
Have you all figured out whatever you needed to figure out?
Yes, we've got our partial truth lie figured out. I think it.
That was the scry on me friend, right? On Finnegan.
Yes.
Okay, that part I remember.
Yes. And that part we will be telling for the most part.
Well, thank you very much for the tea. I'm just gonna do a wee bit of stretching and I'll be up.
Of course. And she's gonna reach into her pouch and pull out some sunglasses for you.
Oh, these are fantastic.
I think they'll help with the sunshine outside. There's no tea that can remedy that situation.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go do some stretching. And he'll kind of run towards the corner of his room. As you walk away, you'll hear...
Oh.
Oh no. Oh,
God.
it's messy. Oh, it's messy.
And he's like, you see him do that flush, and he's like, yep, thank you very much. Bye. Goodbye now.
I need you to leave now, please and thank you.
What's the name of Darwin's friend again that's with us?
Oh, Odian.
Odian,
No.
yeah.
Odian is the individual you picked up. If we're talking about the cleric,
The floater.
that's because they never gave then. If we never gave
I'm
then.
talking about Odian. I
Okay,
would
it's Odian.
go find Odian and ask and give him money and ask him if he could go to Kata's and get either a bag of holding or something that has a pocket dimension while we're discussing things with the queen.
Well, I came here to tag along, and now, all of a sudden, I'm being given errands. I suddenly feel very much part of the team. I suppose.
Well, you can meet us at the queen. We have to keep this from Oren because people tend to get in his mind, and we don't. We need to keep this on the down low. and since all of us are expected to be together, if you could go and get it, and then you could join us, it's fine. Please.
I will go ahead and do that, and I will make sure that there is plenty of tea for when you come back. We'll go back to the tea house you found me at the first time.
Okay.
We'll have
Sounds
something
good.
nice, something special.
Sounds amazing. Thank you so much.
They'll smile and do a little bow, and they'll jump up, begin their flotation, and pack their chair down. And we'll just immediately kind of get ready to set off. Doesn't look like they were doing anything particular anyway. They kind of had a cup of tea in one hand and like a book in the other, and that was kind of it. Absolutely.
And then I'd go find everyone else, but it's like, we need to pick this up, and I don't have to tell Oren why, so yeah.
So can you do it, please?
Please.
All right. Is there any other business that people would like to do at Stonehaven before we get ready for the journey here? Okay.
I'll ask Shikari if he's coming with.
They will not.
Oh, great. Can I ride you? Because that horse is horrible.
Rude.
I mean, rude, but also there are no objections. And you've done this before, so like, you know, it's fine. So you can go ahead and gather yourselves up. You can all meet, grab whatever food you need to before meeting towards the front of Stonehaven. Knowing that you are going to be traveling today, your mounts have already been cleaned, fed, looked after, and prepared and saddled and ready to go. Other than Shikari, who they were not aware. So if you need a saddle or anything, there would be spares.
Bow instructions. And let him know it may be a few days that we're gone. We gotta go do the talkie stuff. So.
Bo will just nod and smile and just... It's not my first rodeo. I know what I'm doing. Don't you worry about it. Have fun, kids. Go off with your Your little playthings. I'll keep home safe. Don't worry. He'll pull out a little pipe, light it up, and just kind of smoke it on the side.
I will let perhaps Logan ride my horse.
Oh, clever.
There you go. All right. Yeah. They are hesitant. They are not particularly well versed in this world's creatures yet, but it is it is very obvious that like the horse knows there's something wrong with them, and they know that in their head there's something wrong with the horse. So it's just kind of stare each other down. And they're like, okay, we're just gonna reach like a passive agreement here.
It's like me riding a horse. The horse just always knows that it's in charge. It's awful. I hate riding horses.
It's very much like that neutral impasse of like, I don't like you, so I'm going to do the job that I've been assigned, and that's it. Yeah, you can all go ahead and get yourself sorted. It is a bit of a trek, but thankfully, one, you've already traveled it before, which is good, and two, the roads are relatively clear, thankfully. Usually at this point, most of the roads are only really used for maybe supplies or travelers, so it is a relatively unabated journey as you travel back into Scythia. You notice pretty much immediately as soon as you get to the gates that there are far, far more guards than you have seen the first couple of times. The whole area seems to be under far more military control than last time. And the individuals you saw before they were in nice armor, they were in nice weapons, and they looked well trained, but they were still city guards, you know? These individuals, the kind of additional forces, they're a lot stricter, they're a lot more rugged. Some of them have definitely seen quite a bit of combat during their times. They seem to have been added to the additional forces. As soon as you get to the gates, one of them kind of signals you down, gives you a salute. Just, don't worry, we know who you are. We were told that you were going to be... One moment. Pulls out a little scroll from his pouch, just... Yes, definitely. You are going to be involved in the conversations today. We can go ahead and escort you directly to the gate if you wish.
That'll be lovely. Thank you.
Gives you a little bit of a side eye of just like both confusion and a little bit just like, who the fuck is the queen inviting in to talk to? All right, fine.
He'll just kind of try to straighten himself up a little bit and just...
Yeah, is Orin giving off like Weekend at Bernie vibes right now?
Pretty much. He's kind of got like the majority of the time he's riding on his Greta, his little like phoenix that doesn't fly yet. And he's very much like holding on to her neck and just like resting on like the back of her head, like about right here, and just kind of nodding off and trusting that she knows where she's going. But then when the guard pipes up, and he'll kind of try to sit up straight, but...
Or I would say, don't worry, he's a drunken master.
That's right.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Both of us, or just Mara?
Just Mara, just for that comment.
22.
There is a very immediate change in demeanor as they're just like, oh, okay, one of those. Well, in you come. It's like super blatant and like a super direct switch. But yeah, the gates are opened up, and as they are so, you can again see the far heavier military presence throughout the rest of the city now as well. The pathway straight to the castle is lined with individuals with crossbows and lances and spears in this very shiny silver layered plate mail on each individual person. You can see a path being carved through the regular hustle and bustle of the city. This path being carved for you by some of these guards as they're taking their duties very seriously, being handed down directly from Her Majesty. And everyone's a little confused around around this entire situation. This treatment being given to people who the city don't recognize, and it's not quite disdain. It's not like heavily negative, but it is just that kind of, who the fuck are you? Who are, do you know that? No, it's like that one celebrity that comes around and you have one friend that knows who they are and everyone else has no idea. So they just go, yeah, I love what you did in the thing. Like they just trying to blag their way past it.
That movie you were in was really good. That one.
I'm a singer. Oh yeah, no. I mean like the music video movie thing. Like, yeah, it is absolutely one of those cases. There are a couple of people that may recognize like some of the insignias you have, and then they kind of get behind you based on that, but like no one knows who you are. It's a very weird process, a very weird parade as you're brought up. You are actually allowed to ride your mounts all the way up to the front of the castle, where the individual who spoke to you first then greets you again and just, all right, go ahead and make your way inside. You'll immediately be taken to the war room to meet with the other individuals there. I believe they are mostly ready for the discussion, as we've been told. We will go ahead and keep your mounts towards the front. We will take good care of them and make sure that they are not going to get into any issues. Don't worry, we will treat them like our own.
Mara asked Shikari if they want to come in with the boring talking, or if they want to just roam throughout the city.
I feel like Shikari's the kind of person who's like, I'm just gonna wander off for a bit. We'll just see what happens.
Oh, see you
Probably
later.
quite free-spirited. There we go. I got there in the end.
I feel like a good chunk of the crowd then follows Shikari. It's a large fox creature.
There's a delay, and then as Shikari is kind of walking away from like the rest of the mounts being escorted, and Shikari kind of takes their own path. And then you hear the pitter-patter of small footsteps as a bunch of the children are suddenly realizing, oh my god, there's this big, pretty fox lynx thing in the city. What is this? And they are just... They're not quite keeping up, but Shikari also doesn't like fully outrun them. They kind of just slow down enough to be friendly. But yeah, there is definitely a small horde of children chasing.
When I see him later, he's gonna have pink bows in his hair.
How did you get all this glitter in your fur?
It's a Rapunzel moment. A Tangled moment.
Yes. Just glitter. There's a couple of bows. There's a few like sections of like paint from where those kids got to them.
As that kid, I am insulted.
You know the type.
I do.
They grow up to be artists.
Exactly. Yeah. Your mounts are looked after and escorted back as the guards continue, not forcefully, but definitely with urgency, as a few of them are behind you and they're kind of looking outwards. just to a few different directions, making sure. And you're brought through the familiar path of the castle and are taken into one of the rooms on the second floor, which is a large, more kind of stereotypical war/meeting room. There's a very large table that has a diorama of Veka as a whole on it. There seems to be small points and small flags over the countries on this continent, and a few different drawings and markings across. You see 5 individuals standing in here. 4 of which you would recognize, or at least some of you would recognize. The first, obviously, standing in a large, beautiful, sparkling kind of silver gown that wraps around her side, is Queen Elowen Sahandria. She is the first to turn as the doors open, and you can see a little bit of the worry on her face melt away for just a moment as she sees some more familiar, less professional faces, as it were, the more people that she's actually spoken to, rather than having to keep up the official demeanor. She'll just silently kind of beckon you in. The second individual is a dwarvish individual. They stand in quite a nice, large fur coat with sections of a lot of brooches, a lot of jewelry, just sections of gold and jeweled pins across. I don't think, if anyone is proficient in history, then you can go ahead and see if you know who this person is. You can do a roll for me. But otherwise, I don't think you would have met them before.
Nope, 9. I have no idea.
I think I might be actually. Hang on, please hold. I am.
Okay, go ahead and roll a history check for me then.
15.
15.
Wow,
Okay.
Dewan.
12.
28.
12. 28. Okay.
I like how I said 15 confidently. Jesse's just like, 28?
Okay. So with the 28, that's quite the freaking number.
10 in history.
You don't recognize this particular individual at first, but you recognize one of the golden insignias. You see a kind of gold constructed shooting star with a moonstone in the center that has been deliberately cracked in half. And it is the actual family seal of the Shatterstar family, who gained their name by creating star metal weapons. This individual, you would assume then, is probably Bromwick Shatterstar, who is the representative of the Parthan Confederation of Cities. They don't have a monarch that controls the whole of Parthan. Instead, each city has a ruler. Each ruler will meet together with a representative, and that representative will then take their thoughts and opinions to whatever is going on. So that's who you imagine this is, just judging by what you see here.
Imara's not really paying attention to the dwarf, so that's why she didn't know who it is, because she's messaging Elowen saying, "We need to talk to you before we talk to everyone else."
I mean, that, and you're probably noticing one of the other individuals in the room. Dressed in what is very clearly basic level armor, but covered over by this really nice green, this kind of greenish shawl that comes across. Quite short hair, but very kind of neatly kept. They immediately turn towards you, and They greet you with the same slightly sad but glad smile that they've hit you with before. As it's been a while since you've seen them. And there was definitely a reason why I was asking you questions before the game. As you see, representing King Gaius Endir is Evan Atwater. He greets you with a smile, and like you can see his body kind of moves towards you and then realizes he's still in a very formal situation. So he kind of like that initial jolt is then kind of tempered.
And Mara doesn't care, so she walks over and hugs him.
And now that you've instigated it, that rigidness fades away and he just wraps his arms around you and just kind of like gives you a very tight and stiff hug.
You ever feel like we don't really know Mara? I'm saying this to Orin and Jacaranda.
Yeah.
How much do we know about any of us, really? I mean, in the grand scheme of my life, I've known you for but a very little blip.
This is very true, but I am consistently surprised by Mara.
It's fun.
I mean, she just walked up and hugged someone.
Yeah,
I've seen her hug people.
This someone looks very official in a very official war room with the queen.
You've just gone.
You would hug the queen if she'd allow her, but
she did manage to get us our own keep, so the fact she knows a noble doesn't surprise me all that much.
That's fair.
Although that fact surprises the living hell out of me. I'm used to sleeping on the damn floor.
Talking about Orin still sleeps on the floor. There's a bed in there, but we know he's really sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, he has a little patch of hay that he sleeps on. That's what he's used to.
Occasionally it's a hammock if you're feeling fancy. This embrace continues for, just beyond the friendship phase and like, we actually like, everyone else is like, okay, they care about each other phase. Like, you know, they're family at this point. They'll finally let you go and just, well, it's been a while. This is the last place I was expecting to see you, but I'm glad for it nonetheless.
Well, people need help, so help found me here.
Of course, that's why you come running. Always the same. Meanwhile, me, I might have owed His Highness a favor.
That also is not surprising.
Just kind of nods and smiles a little. Just, it's nothing serious, so it's fine. This, however, very much is.
You don't know the half of it.
Kind of tilts. You've made friends. That doesn't surprise me. Greetings. I'm so rude. I'm very sorry. Evan Atwater, at your service.
This is my brother.
That too. I missed that part. That too. Very much that too.
Well, my husband's brother, but my brother.
Semantics. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm glad that Mara has found themselves in interesting company.
So this is Dawan.
Dawan's gonna.
She's going
to bow. Nice and deep. Very respectful.
There is really no need for that. I'm just a represent. I just own some land. That's all it is.
I mean, this is how I greet people as I bow, and you seem like you are fairly important. You are in this room.
Well, I didn't mean to offend. That's different, man. And they'll reciprocate the bow.
This is Jacaranda. She's very lovely.
She'll kind of look around and then just also bow as well.
Is that something you do? I'm in incredibly polite company. And they'll also bow.
This is Oren. He's slightly hungover.
I was about to ask you, please don't bow, you might fall over.
I apologize, but he'll bow and just... Sorry.
You actually hear the slightest little giggle from Queen Elowen. Just the tiniest little giggle escapes as Bromwick kind of shoots a look in her direction of just like, what? No, it's not my place. He kind of looks back at the table. Evan will chuckle and just, good company indeed.
This is Logan. He's a friend.
Are you going to bow as well? Is that something I should be prepared for? You hear you hear perhaps shuffle in the background. It's that won't be necessary. Coughs a couple more times. It's fine. You don't need to worry about bowing. It's all good.
I'm so happy.
Oren will slowly slide 5 silver over to Dawan.
Dawan's hand is ready and waiting.
Logan's been going through some changes recently, so his speech is a little changing. Yes, changing.
Just getting used to some medical matters. That's what we'll call it. Medical matters. It's a lot less complicated that way. I'm gonna stop talking now. He kind of coughs again a couple times. And
still got
Evan's
the
just
face mask wrap, right?
Yeah. And Evan will just, I'm really glad. Could you, he kind of rubs his temples for a second and just, I'm so glad, because if I could imagine how ridiculously bored you would have been if you were stuck in a room with a bunch of nobles. So this is exactly the kind of fantastic group I would have expected you to pick up. They all seem like wonderful people.
So who are the rest of these folks? I know the Queen, of course.
So yes, Her Majesty Queen Elowen. This is Bromwick Shatterstar. He is representing Parthen in these matters, and this gentleman points over towards the figure that's been in the corner looking out towards the window, and he's got this full cowl up across his head. And during this time, his head's been quite low. He's managed to just kind of step his way forwards enough and has approached Oren. And from underneath this thick, kind of black robe, this hand comes up, just kind of ruffles through your hair a couple times, and then taps you on the shoulder. And you hear the slight kind of clinking of metal underneath as he looks upwards a little bit. As his eye opens, you see a slightly avian look directly in your eyes. And as that eye opens, a second eye right next to it also opens up.
Oh, you cheeky bastard.
Pulls his cloak down, his hat down. And for those of you who haven't met this individual yet, they are definitely more kind of humanoid. They are a shifter, most certainly. Definitely more humanoid, but they have layers of kind of tawny owl feathers that kind of come across and down. They have quite a bristle set, which kind of is in place for hair. The strangest aspect about them is that they have 4 eyes. They have a regular set in the center and a set of peripheral eyes towards the side that are all connected up. A little jarring at first, but you do get used to it. And as this kind of cowl comes down, they just tap Oren on the shoulder a couple of times and just, considering the leader of Zenri is currently missing, the survivors are kind of our only real representation. I was called to assist.
Well, it's good to see you. I hope you're keeping well.
It's been a journey. We will need to catch up at some point. Perhaps when you're feeling a bit more stable on your feet.
It was with good reason. Trust me.
It always is. For those of you I haven't met yet, greetings, I am Torn.
Dallin's met Tom.
All of us have.
I think just Logan hasn't.
Yep, just Logan hasn't. Well, yes, because
Perhaps.
Logan was inside of Orin at the time.
Yes. Yeah. So technically everyone's met Torn. Not that Torn knows that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah,
Yes, most certainly not that Torn knows that. So he's being polite. And Logan is just kind of looking like, how do I tell him? And then decides against it. He just nods, gives a little bow. And yeah, Torn will just kind of tap you again on the shoulder and then step back a little bit, turn their attention towards Alwyn, who has been fine with just letting everyone kind of meet and catch up. Bromwick is definitely a little more agitated of the rest.
Is the fifth person Sinclair?
Yes. In the back of the room is Sinclair. In his full kind of like gold ebony armor, with weapons towards the sides. Most certainly there as more of a bodyguard this time than anything else, but sometimes that's how it goes. Yeah, Elowin will smile at you all, first of all. Just, I thank you for coming, especially on short notice. I appreciate that everything is a little bit... Well, how is Stonehaven? I believe that's what the missive sent you had called it.
Yep, it's good. It's good.
Things
It's
are-
fully staffed now.
Wonderful. Comfortable, I hope.
It's home.
Good. I'm glad. It's been interesting seeing the occasional craftsman coming in asking for some slightly strange orders, but I'm glad it has settled well with you all. I'm glad that you have found a home, and I'm also glad that you found a small family for yourselves there. I'm glad you could come, considering you are some of the only other people that have any other encounters with what's been going on here. And they'll turn their attention to the map. And you can see as I said before, like a multitude of different flags that have been placed across the continent. all of these flags are either individuals or small settlements that have vanished. The buildings themselves and all of their belongings are still there, but the people, gone. Just a trace of powder remaining where they were. They haven't gotten any faster, but they also haven't gotten any slower. It's beginning to spread now. The borders of Endir are beginning to find a lot more of these incursions, the further borders towards the ocean. Parthen has also started to find individuals missing, although they haven't had any direct incursions into any of the 4 cities, which is suggesting that travelers are being picked up somewhere along the line. This is more of a meeting to share information, to see where everyone's current knowledge levels are at. I've informed the people of the table here of everything you've told me about the matters. But if there's any additional information that you can provide, that would be appreciated, and then we can give you whatever information we can. And that track is immediately cut off by Bromwick, just kind of under his breath, like, Your Majesty, with the greatest respect, are these people of any kind of importance to the situation? And you just see Elowin turn, and for a brief moment, you see the Queen and why she is in her position, as there is a set of scathing eyes, and she almost seems to rise in her demeanor to challenge his challenge. And he quickly kind of grumpily stops what he's saying and returns his eyes to the board in front. Anyway, we will give you whatever extra information we can. Whether you want to act on that or not is, of course, entirely up to you. There'll be payment for anything you can provide, as to be expected, but you are most certainly not under the employer of a contract right now. This is more just us trying to get our people back. If there's anything you know, we would be very grateful.
Well, Mara would say, since she already messaged Elowin and she didn't respond, if you're sure everyone in this room can be trusted, sure. And basically, she's looking at Bronwick because that's the only person she doesn't know. She trusts the other people.
Bronwick is a loyal individual. And sometimes that comes out as rashness. And he knows this. Bronwick just kind of goes, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Like, just under his breath, just, yeah, that's accurate. You obviously know Evan. And considering the amount that he's been through, Torn was the only one who would actually volunteer themselves to arrive at this meeting. The rest of the survivors weren't exactly thrilled about the idea of reliving a lot of what they had gone through, which I can understand, absolutely. I would never force them to. But I believe that everyone in here can be trusted.
Okay, so this is what we have gathered doing investigations of our own. It kind of starts with the Magic Harnum. From what I gathered, they visited another realm, which alerted the beings of this other realm to our realm. And those beings have been coming to our realm and gathering people. To what end, we're not sure. some of them we know have been killed. Others have been put in what we can only call a stasis. For what purpose, we're unsure of that. But it seems like they may be being held on ships or someplace in this other realm. And the being that took over or appeared as Valerki was one of these beings.
And what you're saying, to your knowledge, is 100% true.
I'm not 100% sure on the Magic Harnum visiting this other realm that is according to Logan here. But the other information was gathered from visions.
Right. That is certainly that is certainly
Yes,
a string of words that you've put together into a coherent sentence. They pause for a moment and just take a breath as their demeanor kind of sunk as that conversation was being delivered, and they kind of try and pull themselves up again. It's just, well, that is certainly a concern if it is quite that rife. It sounds like I may need to go and have a discussion with some of the members of the Magic Harnum in order to find out what exactly is going on there. I think the Magic Harnum's independence can probably be bent in just this particular occasion.
Well, I'm not saying they let these people in, but they did make them aware that we are here.
But they poked the hornet's nest, yes, and that is
Yeah.
incredibly foolish if you don't have a plan to deal with the hornets afterwards.
One of these creatures that attacked us here actually took the form of a Magic Harnum Valerki. Whether it that means that they are allies or just perhaps to stay a disguise this creature chose to use as a form familiar to it. But doesn't.
And it was kind of like undead or something, like a weird suspension, not quite alive. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but feels like important.
Very important, yes. Thank you for clarifying that. This is the individual that, they kind of turn, the individual that attacked you, Sinclair, correct? They'll nod once. You dealt with in my throne room.
That's correct.
I remember that. I remember you coming after me as well, so I thank you for ensuring that I was safe. I also thank you for helping out Sinclair. As rough of a gem as he is a valued friend.
Were your investigations into that being, did it give you any information? Because, right, we gave her the body.
I thought wait, did the body stay?
Yeah, didn't
What
it
disappeared?
I thought
Which body disappeared?
The creature's body vanished.
the crucifix,
But not the
worms,
dead.
Yeah,
but not
okay.
the dead body.
Her
'cause
body,
we
yeah,
tried-
her
'cause
body was
Remember,
very much so
we tried to speak with
Yes.
dead.
Yeah, we did.
Yes. And then you realize that it's not a person,
Also-
unfortunately.
I would like to ask about the guard too, if they've found anything
Oh yeah.
about that. Because that was not right.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the guard in question that we were investigating into could not be found at all. We have not seen them in the perimeter of the city since. I assume either that individual was in it all along, that the the individual was unfortunately slain and their persona taken over, or perhaps some other form of powerful magics. It would make sense then, if it was magics, that guard wasn't the one who actually stepped into the throne room, as the throne room is relatively protected from certain types of magic. Still rather concerned about the magic that was used that you told me about in the battle, but I have found no further information on that, unfortunately. But yes, the guard wasn't found. Unfortunate, but we are still continuing our investigation. When it comes to the creature itself, it is indeed some kind of necromantic creature. I had my best doctors and physicians look into the creature, and its biology is confusing. It is certainly not of any kind of creature of this world that we know of. Beyond that, I can't unfortunately tell you much more. We don't know much more.
Orin will kind of... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say Mara would look to the others from the other countries in the room, and no one in your lands has seen, and she would describe.
Both Evan and Bromwick will shake their heads. Bromwick will just say, we have certain informations, not a lot more than you've got, unfortunately, but we've seen blips appear here and there, magical blips, some kind of conjuration magics of some description. Nothing we could get a bead on, unfortunately, but they popped up here and there outside of some of our cities.
Have the airships seen anything?
Not currently. We've had a few go missing, though. So...
In a particular area?
Across Parthen in general. We only have 4 cities across the entire country. There are a few smaller settlements that haven't really been touched, but then they really are small settlements. So nothing so far. Nothing concrete.
Orin will kind of walk up towards the war table, and I'm assuming have to climb up onto a chair to be able to see over it.
It's a low table.
Okay.
You're good.
And
there's a dwarf at the table that can see it at eye level. So
okay. So yeah, half of it's fine too. Okay, so these flags here, is there any kind of chronological order to this? Where was the first time that these disappearances happened? So the first time I saw this kind of thing was on an airship right outside here in Zentane. The next time I saw it happen was here in Yilton. Haven't really seen it. Oh no, we saw it in Genzo too, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah. was certainly, yeah. So the path would have like kept going upwards.
Moving north.
Mm-hmm.
So from my experience, it's been traveling north. Is that consistent with any other lands?
I'll pause for a moment as Bromwell kind of looks at the table. Does anyone have training in cartographer's tools?
I think you've managed to find the one thing Dawn does not have training.
Oh, where's Dotra?
Okay. So Bromwell will step up and take a look. He'll kind of look at where you've pointed towards where the ship originally crashed all that time ago. And then look at Satane nearby. Look at Yilton. Look at where the path kind of continues. And he'll trace across the different flags and just... There's a few outliers, but it seems to be following some kind of pattern. Because it kind of continues up. He's like, there has been hits. And you say, and he looks towards Elowen, you say that here and here. And he'll kind of trace this curve that kind of continues up across the outside of the continent, continues up and through, very deliberately kind of skips Scythia itself, as that would actually be in the curve. But there are no flags in Scythia. There's a few around it, though, like quite a distance away. As that continues, it then kind of curves through into Endia. And although you noticed a few flags kind of scattered below, the curve does seem to continue, and the last flag that he kind of touches, the last one that he's been told about, is, as Evan kind of looks, as he points, just, that one is the last one that we know about. It's right on the eastern coast here. If it's continuing that pathway, it's going to end up in the middle of the ocean.
Does the map extend like to other continents, or?
Yeah, it's a full world map. So you're...
Okay. And so Lothinkala is to the west.
Lothinkala is east. Very east. Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of headed that direction.
It will eventually touch there, but it will probably hit the northeastern continent first. It will kind of skim that before heading down.
Now, does this curve just look like a curve, or does it look like if I connect the dots, there's some sort of symbol?
I need to think of what stat this check would be under.
Specifically runes that she has seen recently.
Not
the
runes, but go ahead and make
Okay.
a nature check for me.
22.
22. Okay. You probably didn't do a tremendous amount of science growing up, or science lessons, but there's
It's too
something
orderly.
that
She
kind
likes the
of-
chaos. Science is just...
Makes too much sense.
There's something that kind of clicks in your head about how wide this curvature is. You have a theory. You think you might need a diorama to make it work.
Well, I hear she's good at making them.
You might need like a planetary like diorama in order to test your theory, but judging by the curve, it doesn't look like the opening point is moving. Wherever this is currently angled, the way that it is currently curved, the way that a lot of the flags and stuff are placed, it looks like whatever this breach is that is allowing these creatures to start attacking people on Vega, it doesn't look like that's moving. It looks like the planet's moving instead.
He goes, I gotta go to the library. I'll be right back. She goes down to the library.
And Mara just leaves.
Did we just lose our noble in our fucking noble meeting?
And Evan just goes, once Mara's got her mind on something, that's it. It's getting done. So give her a minute. She'll come back.
But she was the best speaker out of all of us.
I'm sure you're all incredibly charismatic.
Not quite like her, but we have learned that fact about her. Your sister-in-law's a wonderful person. So is this localized to this continent, or have we heard anything else from the other areas?
We haven't heard anything just yet, but at the same time, we're also expecting news.
Nothing from Lothinkala?
Not yet, and if Salia were to be attacked, then her eyes kind of dart a little bit down to everyone else, as everyone kind of gives a begrudging kind of nod of just like, yeah, we know. And she'll look back and just, if Salia was attacked, we would know about it.
I'm sorry. What's Salia?
One of the so Salia is one of the countries to the northeast, on the northeastern continent. It's the one that basically faces India. If you're looking at the map, it is mostly a collection of port towns. The majority of Salia itself isn't really inhabited, massively so. A lot of it is just kind of swamp and bogland. So all of the civilization kind of exists around the edges. So it's very much the hub of trade.
That's just what the dragons want you to believe.
And that's like north or south of Zentane. Orn's trying to work out how his home is. He's like, what's going on?
Yeah. Zentane's at the bottom of this continent. Salia is off into the next continent up here, and then Lothinkala is below it.
I'm sorry, not Zentane.
There is a map. It just needs updating, I promise.
No, I just said the wrong name.
If it's Lothinkala, like it is... Zarenkart, yeah. So almost directly north.
Okay.
But like very north. Lothinkala is very big.
Okay.
So Jacaranda would say, if we seem to know where the general direction, and we believe it's going to be over the sea, should we try to notify ships, like airships and other ships, that not to travel that specific area, and then maybe it will buy us some time with people not going missing until we can solve the problem, of course, until it ends up over land again.
LOL will nod. Yes, I think that's a fantastic idea. We want to go ahead and minimize our losses as much as possible. I don't want any more people vanishing for no reason. So yes, definitely.
Mara comes back like 60 seconds later because the library has that weird timey-wimey effect. And she's like, aha!
Eureka!
And then she tells her theory. Okay, so based on when these attacks happened and where they happened, this is what I think. I think that they are staying here and the planet is rotating to where they are. And that's who they're snatching. Anyone who comes into their little zone.
What's the rate on this? Are the disappearances happening daily or weekly, monthly?
It is difficult to say, as some of the reports don't come with times, only the times that they were found. But we are getting new reports sometimes every week, sometimes every couple of days.
Okay,
sometimes more.
Well, here's a book on the planet's rotation.
So knowing that...
Right. So what about going from Zentane to Yilton to Genzo, like the time that it took us to get there? Can I like make a history check or something to figure out like
go ahead
how fast this is going?
Well, and also, is there a way that we could predict what like next landmark would go in this spot based on the rotation of the planet? Is that two 5 points?
24.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was
24.
thinking with the like
Damn.
to warn people not to go in this area. Like if we can accurately predict it.
Yeah.
And Mara would turn to Logan and say, does that make sense?
Logan's just kind of watching the whole time, just like, he'll just nod and just. It seems as though you're on the right track. Like, probably, maybe not. I don't, mate.
One might say, perhaps.
Yeah, we'll right into that one. Right, fair play.
Orin
And
slides his hand up to Jack for a high five. like a little like a low five, like underneath slide, like hard to do in the window.
Logan has become our biggest inside joke.
Just a nod. They'll give you a little clap, and then, yeah. Strangely enough, barring some time in that you spent in the fire plane, it seems to have kind of followed your travels for a bit almost. And where you had spent some time in the fire plane, it then kind of accelerated. So some of the things that some of the reports that came through after Sinclair and his unit arrived, they discovered that there had been other individuals that had been hit during that time that you'd been in the fire plane. It kind of continues up and onwards. And then the most recent report in total on that eastern side of Endir was a couple of days ago.
So does it feel like it's just progressing slowly because it's stationary and the planet is moving like that, or does it literally feel like it's freaking chasing me?
No, it feels like it's following a set path because of where the planet's moving. It just so happened that you're
very unlucky.
This series of events happened to take you in that general vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
Right place, wrong time, maybe, depending on how you look at it.
Right. Okay.
Logan, these ships, do they have the ability to travel to the stars?
Stars, perhaps, is a bit. It's not exactly correct, but at the same time, kind of. It's more of a more of a. This is so fucking stupid with this voice.
Logan is so very much finding his voice, and I'm here for it.
It's more of a planar thing, more of a planar switch, because like everything's connected one way or another. So,
like a portal or something? Like they're opening a portal to their plane?
Kind of. Imagine and they'll pause for a moment and they'll pull up a section of their rogue and they'll pull up a small kind of, not even a dagger, it's more of a letter opener that they've kind of kept on themselves. And they're going to just like poke a hole in their fabric. And they're just going to put the fabric, like hover it over the map and just go, it's just like this. So this is the fabric. This is where they're coming from. This hasn't changed. It's not getting bigger. It's not getting smaller. It's just here. And instead of this moving, he'll grab the map and just, it's this that's moving because it saves energy. It'd be a lot more of a pain to go ahead and try and open something huge and big and then try and cover it up. It's a lot different to open a small portal and wait. Let nature do its thing, but like, wait, why am I? He kind of pauses for a moment and just looks across at what he's currently doing and just, I don't know why I did. I didn't mean to treat you like. There's two vibes going on up here and it's very confusing. Anyway.
So in theory, we could predict where we're going to rotate to the portal next. And maybe go there and close it?
Probably. I'd assume.
But the people who are being kept, they'd be on the other side of this portal?
That I don't know. Whether they're keeping them here somewhere, because here's the thing, right? Considering everything that's going on, that's a lot of people have been taken. And if they're trying to save energy, they're not going to make that gap any bigger. So they might just be keeping them somewhere here until it does get bigger. And then they can just go ahead and hoof them all through.
But it would still be on the trajectory of where it's going.
It would be probably towards the end of the circumference, realistically. Back to where it began.
Right outside Zentane.
Possibly. That's going to be a while, though. That'll be like the rest of your year. Your, as in like this planet's year. Ours are different. Ours are, yeah.
It'll take a year.
Oh, what do we do? Because we need to close the portal, but it's that direction. And then the folks who are being held are that direction if they are being held on this side. We need to stop them from taking new people, but we need to verify that the people they have taken are still here.
Logan, if there's a way for us to be taken intentionally, I assume there's a way to bring us back, yeah?
I don't think I like where your brain's heading. But also, that is devilishly clever. All right. It could work, but like, that's risky.
And there's no
If
guarantee.
it is another plane, there are ways to come to different planes or come back to another plane.
Oh yeah, plenty of technology, plenty of magic, you know.
As long as that's what it is.
Do any of us have that kind of power?
Not yet. I don't yet.
Yet.
It's more just getting taken might be the hard part.
Right, because we'd have to appear.
We would have to go to where
that puts them in control.
We would have to appear edible, is what you would say, for lack of a better word to them. I mean,
edible or Oedipal.
And
please be edible.
Yeah.
Weaker than we are, because let's face it, we're definitely predators.
Or we have bait.
Or if it is a portal and we know where the portal is, maybe we can just go through it.
Because the thing is, it'll be the same as it always has been. They'll send a ship. It'll sit there for a little bit, take what they need, vanish. If you have bait, so that the ship appears and waits for a little while, then you just go on the ship. Whether that be flying up there or teleporting up there or whatever it ends up being, all you need is for it to be there for a bit.
I feel like the last time, well, not the last time, but the first time that I saw these disappearances, I might have been the bait.
If you worked as bait once, could you not work as bait twice?
I mean,
Mara would go over and touch Orin's head like this.
Oh, God. Oh, that's quite tender.
Your brain, I guess, is kind of edible.
Well, no, I was more referring to, and he'll reach into his robe and go, by the sisters, where is it?
Where's what, Orin?
Where? Nothing. Nothing at all.
I mean,
don't worry about it. It's fine.
I feel like everyone in the party is just looking at Orin.
Wait, hold on. Is this, we're in like the royal room, like everybody is here.
Everyone is here. Everyone is here. Everyone just saw
that. Your pocket and not pulled anything out.
I thought that I had some smelly bait with me, but I don't. I left it at home.
And this is why Orin does not have it.
That was literally Orin forgot that you took it from him.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna show it in this room full of people.
Like, oh fuck! Oh shit! I lost it.
Yes. Yep.
I think at this point, Evan kind of leans over into your ear, Mara, and is just, I don't want to be rude about your wonderful and newfound friends. Really, they are remarkable, but also I
listen, he's a really good fighter.
I feel
She just cuts him off. Listen, he's a really good fighter, okay?
I just feel like he needs a nap is all. He'll just smile and nod.
Can I hear that?
I don't know. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. I really hope that I roll well because
Against, I guess, Evan's sleight of hand?
son of a bitch, I did not roll well. 9.
Evan's
Okay.
sleight of mouth.
Sleight of mouth. You hear a little garble about something, really good friends. They seem really nice. Gobble gobble. it's
You
like
hear
okay,
Mara saying he's a really good fighter.
Yeah, that's probably pretty clear.
Because she wouldn't have whispered it. He's a really good fighter.
So even with like, what did I get? Like a 9. He'll just kind of, I'm sorry, I'm speaking out of my nose. Don't mind me. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay, but even if we get captured, which I don't know if I'm down with, how do we know that they're actually going to take us to the place that they're holding everyone else? The ones that they are holding?
Well,
Because from what we saw, they just ate some people, so...
I feel like this is where have Dawan heard? Yeah, I guess Dawan's heard people referring to perhaps as Logan at this point out loud.
Yes. Yeah, because Logan has been like out loud the whole time, mate.
Yeah. But I'm talking about like Dawan has now heard heard Mara introduce.
Oh,
Yes.
Logan.
that's right.
Yes.
Because the one wasn't part of the psychic conversation.
I refuse
Yes.
to be part of the second
You didn't let him in.
conversation. I think this is where Logan's bait idea comes in handy, or in play, where if we have someone who can be bait, we can sneak onto the ship, keep tabs on the bait, and see what happens if they try to consume. We can step in and stop, and if they take, we know where they go.
I don't know that I like going to something's home turf. And we still don't know how or if the Magic Carnum is involved. There's just a lot of too many ifs to do that.
What
Even
if the bait?
my knowledge about things is hazy. So probably the best bet would be get one to appear, go on it, grab what information you can, and then leave. And then we can do everything else. We can tackle whatever happens next, whatever happens.
So all we need is a way in and a way out.
So heist, but like really extreme.
Interdimensional heist. I like
In
it.
Yes,
the
that's what
sky.
I was gonna say.
Interdimensional sky,
Interplanal.
slightly space heist.
So
Good line.
we need to be able to get really high. Like up.
Sounds like we need to teach our mounts how to fly.
Is that gonna be high enough?
Stratosphere heist.
So as this conversation has been going on, you could just see like Evan and Bromwick specifically just throwing looks at each other and you, just like, what is this? What is going on here? What is this conversation? What are they chatting? Torn is just like completely neutral at this point. He's like, I know these people. And you've noticed that Elowin has kind of slinked off to the back, is having a small discussion with Sinclair. Not like deliberately hiding it, but they're very much like they've moved to the back of the room and they're kind of, as you are discussing this, they're kind of having a small discussion with each other.
So, obviously, she goes back and looks at the map on where we think the zone the ships are appearing, or how many ever ships, wherever the portal we think it's going to be next, based on how the world is turning. How long would it take us to travel there?
There is a small island settlement between the continents that would likely be the next point of attack. It would be within the next perhaps 3 to 4 days at this point, roughly, given the situation.
Okay, and
So
how
3
long
to
would it
4
take
days,
us to get there?
Yes.
Depending on how you traveled, less than a day. Like just less than a day. It's the island itself is in between the two continents, but it's very close to India's side. So it's not like just out in the middle of the ocean. It is close-ish to landmass. If you were going to go as the crow flies, so to speak, you'd avoid a lot of the issues plaguing you. And these ships are fast, so.
Are the peoples there friendly?
Yeah. They're they're a small group of individuals that they were more than happy to govern themselves. And so no kingdom really took ownership of the land, and they just went ahead and just thrived as a little civilization by themselves. But they're friendly. They trade with India, they trade with Salia, they trade with other places, and they are, if you are traveling by boat, they are one of the possible locations you can stop off and rest at an actual place that has real beds. So, But more than likely, that would be the next point attacked, and it would be, within the next 3, 4, maybe 5 days.
But what do we think we need as far as supplies go to pull this off? Assuming the bait is taken, to be able to get onto the ship and back.
I think that's exactly what we need to find, is a guaranteed way to get onto a ship. That might be in the sky. We aren't quite sure how they're abducting people, right?
When I was on the airship, this is a question. Sorry, I just want to clarify. There was literally like another ship that appeared in the sky, right? Like, we thought it was like a creature, but it was
a large, strange-looking, like black ship with a lot of like black and purple smoke around it. And that was.
I like to think he drunk the Siren's Tear and it jogged his memory of this, because he never told any of us before. Yeah.
So when the ship started crashing, at first
that's just because I forgot about it.
When the ship started crashing, you had initially seen nothing apart from these individuals disappearing. And then when you got on the bikes and made your way off of the ship, behind you saw suddenly kind of like looming over the ship was this large black vessel that then started firing at you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So
Mara would look at Dwan and go, I'm really missing Aridin about now.
So I think we're gonna need some type of invisibility if this is a plan. If there was like shooting involved from the ship.
That would be nice.
If we're still planning on getting on the ship.
I think the Queen will look up from their conversation with Sinclair. I think that we can assist you in this endeavor. if this is legitimately something you wanted to do, if you feel like this is your responsibility, then I will assist you as much as I am able.
Someone has to save these people.
I wouldn't say responsibility, but I wouldn't mind helping.
Whatever this is, it needs to stop. And someone's got to do it. Might as well be us, yeah?
Stonehaven was kind of getting a little boring.
Quite right. Well then, I will sort you out both transport and bait, as we're calling it. In the meantime, I would probably suggest you call in whatever favors to get as much manpower and or equipment as you are able to. I will be primarily ensuring that my people are safe, but I will also help you however I can.
This is just a recon mission. We're not going to go save the world right this second. We're just gathering more information, make sure everyone's on the same page.
I mean, most certainly, but also the more bodies you can have in ensuring
Not for
that
stealth, the less bodies we have is better.
This is true. I meant more having a small team that you can trust.
Torn,
you don't
are you
know
busy?
what you're going to be running into. Queen will look towards Torn. Torn will look towards y'all. Just look back towards the Queen. Just, Your Majesty. And ladies. Queen will just kind of smile to themselves and look towards the party. If you need his sword arm, you can have it. I shall leave that up to you.
Now, we may have to be flying here, Ton. Your fear of heights ain't gonna fuck with you now, isn't it?
As she kicks Orin in the ankles.
Aims for normal size ankles, kicks him in the ass.
Sorry. Torn will crack a small smile, as he rarely does, and just, I will make sure to close my eyes during the trip. It's good to see you haven't changed.
You either. And you, Mora. Oh.
The Queen will nod. There is one other favor that I can call in. It might take me a little while, but I feel like it will be invaluable in this particular situation. That's going to take me some time, though, so I will probably be unavailable for a large portion of this little preparation phase.
That's fine. We need to go have tea.
You think we could ask Odian to help us? I feel like we've told him to.
That's where we're going to go have tea. He's having tea. And we have to go to Kata's anyway, I think.
Definitely.
He may have things and stuff. He may know a dragon we can borrow.
Dragonborn are dragons.
Listen! You can't tell her she is not a dragon.
Oh my god. With that, the Queen will nod. Just Well, in that case, Torn, you are in their service until they no longer require you or until I need you back.
Can we have rooms for the night? It makes no sense to go back to Stonehaven and then come back here, then go.
That's understandable. That's fair.
I have a Riskin staying with me, by the way. He'll stay in my room too.
Fair enough. I will make sure that there is sufficient bedding.
Thank you.
I've never taken care of one of those before, so I hope that's enough.
Evan can let you know what he needs.
Very well, and everyone just, oh yes, of course. I've taken care of that one plenty. And did you know there's actually been a few more on the estate since you left? Like on the actual estate, I've never seen that before. Sorry, distractions. Anyway, yes, no, I will be more than happy to help in that regard.
And I'll
Absolutely.
say, Evan, I'll see you for dinner. And then she leaves.
Sounds good.
Oh, she bows to Elowen and then leaves.
Elowen will just give a short nod back. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming and sharing what you knew. If there is any other information that you do wish to probe me or anyone else here for, then just let us know. I will likely be out traveling from tonight, so I won't be available on that front. But yes, thank you. You're all dismissed. She'll nod.
Wow.
She'll smile and excuse herself along with Sinclair just out into the corridor for a bit of air.
Mara left, so there's some more standing in the
Yeah,
door.
Mara's out. Mara's also in the corridor.
When Mara left, Jack Randa was like, "Oh, are we leaving?" Like in her head, but then that's when the queen was like started talking. So she's like, oh, okay."
I guess we're leaving. Okay.
Do you have anything else to say? T. That one's gonna leave. T was mentioned.
Let's get some tea.
T was mentioned. Fair enough. Cool. So you can go ahead and head out of this room, and everyone else will follow. You notice that Torn will kind of hang back for just a moment and take another look at the board and just kind of let out a small sigh before they continue on outwards. They have something else that they need to deal with, so they will not be joining you for tea. But yeah.
Well, that's good because Mara didn't invite them for tea.
How presumptuous of them.
Okay, see, here's the thing. Odian is very much like, oh, you invited me. That's really sweet. Torn is like, I will go where I want to go. He's a lovely guy, but he's also like, if I wasn't invited, I would still go. So yeah, you can go ahead and make that journey back out throughout. The individuals retire to their respective rooms, and you can make your way to the small tea shop that you found yourself at before, and you do indeed see Odian there with quite a large spread of pastries and cakes, as well as various different kinds of tea, all kind of rowed up. They'll smile at you. And as you kind of arrive at the cafe, I think that is going to be a decent place to leave off for the night. So we go ahead.
Okay.
Well, we're going
one
to
thing.
space. But...
Mara walks up to Odian and goes, "We're planning a heist." And then end scene.
No, slams a plate of cookies down on the table.
I imagine
planning a what?
Mara saying that we're doing a heist, and then Dewan's like, "We're going to space," and then that's like,
just two
At the
equal
same
looks
time.
of just. They're just there sipping their tea, and they just. Great.
Like, thanks
Good
for letting me
you.
know.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
cool.
the
I
title
don't
of next
wanna
week's
join it.
episode. We're going to space slash we're planning a heist.
No, space heist.
Space heist.
Part
Space
one.
heist. Not quite space, but also kind of space. Yes.
Not quite
Alright.
space heist.
Not quite space heist. All right. Yeah. Cool. So we'll see what on earth happens. What on earth happens
What
next
off
week?
Earth?
What off Earth on Earth? It's gonna be. You got a
What
little bit of
adjacent
time
Earth?
to go ahead and prep. Adjacent Earth. Yeah, you got a bit of time to get some things in order and prepare before setting off. But yeah, we'll see what happens next episode. Thank y'all for being amazing as always. Just gonna quickly let y'all do a quick round the horn just to plug what you want to plug. Let's start with Rochelle.
Hi, I'm Rochelle. I stream on my own channel, Dragon Gem, here on Twitch. Play a lot of puzzle games. I'm going to be on a podcast on Sunday called Between Two Beards. It's going to be... Here, I'll just post the link in the chat because it's a link. There, on that channel. We're gonna talk about things and stuff and podcasty things. They'll ask me questions. I'll blather on. So yeah. And I stream on my channel on Sundays and Wednesdays at 6 Mountain Time. That's it. That's all I got.
Awesome. All right. Oh,
Sorry, I
you made a weird sound.
The was at Nightbot's message. It was a big chunk.
It was a big chunk. And considering you're talking, let's go with Jesse. Haha, I baited you into it.
Me and my involuntary noises. Hi, I'm Jesse. This is Yoki. You're really bad.
Oh, Kitty Claus. Kitty Claus.
I do art. I'm Juice Moose on the interwebs. If you are following Friends Who Roll Dice Twitter, which you should be, you'll be seeing my art coming slowly out this week because I did some Invisible Suns portraits. I'm really proud of them. I will also be revealing them on my Instagram as well as the work in progress sketch stages. But I'm not releasing them until they are released on Twitter. So you should follow both, honestly. That's it. That's all I got.
Amazing. Adam.
Hello, I am Adam. You can follow me on the interwebs, Instagram and Twitter at AdamHardyVO. I do the post-production for Mine and the Martyr, which can be found on the Friends Who Roll Dice YouTube page. There was a transition recently, so those episodes are being uploaded. It's actually a really good time to just go ahead and subscribe now, because there's only a few that you can just binge, and then they'll be uploaded slowly, so you don't have to be intimidated by the daunting, oh my god, there are 57 episodes of the show that I need to freaking watch. You can do them all at your own leisure, and please do so, because we love it. I also have a small project that is almost finished for the channel, and maybe next week. Next week. I'm making it happen next week. Surprise content for you.
Is that right? No, I've done it. I've put a date on it. We're done.
I've made myself do it now. That it's gonna happen next Monday.
I like it. I like the positivity. Melissa?
Hi, I'm Melissa, also known as So Much Geek, and I sometimes stream on my channel. I haven't lately. But yeah, usually Twitter's the best place to find out what I'm doing. Oh, on Wednesday, oh my gosh, this is what I keep forgetting. Wednesday, I'm doing Tales from the Loop on Nerds with Dice, and this is the third one. It's kind of a Tales from the Crypt / Are You Afraid of the Dark type thing going on, so it's fun. And that's on Wednesday, so we're playing different characters each time, so come see who the new character will be.
Amazing. As always, check all these wonderful people out, support them and everything they do. As for me, I'm Ray. You can find me at Red Mage Ray on Twitter. I am the humble GM for Mind and the Martyr. You can find me here every Monday doing this with these wonderful people. You can also find me every Thursday now, 10 o'clock a.m. British time, which is a very weird game for me because it's on British time. But anyway, well, we are playing through the Stygian Shroud, which is a Curse of Strahd sequel. We're getting really close to the big finale now with the final big confrontation with a level 20 Strahd, which is going to be super interesting to go through. You can also find me very soon on a date that I can't remember, on D&D Jordan Lee's channel, where I will be GMing a game of Blades in the Dark for some fantastic people for charity. So there is a huge charity drive going on. You will see some amazing faces on a bunch of different streams. We've got Persephoroth, we've got Critical Bard, we've got so many amazing, just incredible content creators going on, and I'm doing one of the games for it, which I'm super hype about, and I'm very, very humbled and very flattered. So yeah, go ahead and support D&D Jordan Lee, and that charity drive is going to be great. As for Friends Who Roll Dice, we have quite a bit going on here on the channel. We have just wrapped up a whole bunch of charity stuff, but we still have some stuff left to go. First and foremost, we have a Trans Lifeline charity collaboration with the wonderful folks at Emporium, who we are linked with. And we are actually teaming up with Utopia to put on a couple of games for the charity drive, which is going to be amazing. I can't reveal what those games are yet, but I will do that as soon as possible on the Twitter, so keep an eye there. On the 24th, our Invisible Sun game premieres, which is going to be, again, super hype. Jesse did all the art for it. They are all incredibly hot. And we have an incredible cast. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great fun. I've never actually seen a full playthrough of Invisible Sun, so I'm super excited to see exactly how that goes. We do also have a few other projects in the pipeline that I can't talk about. And we still have our Hyper Light Drifter 6-shot, which is a collaboration between us and Nomadic. One more episode is going to be on Nomadic's channel, and then the last 3 will be over here on Friends Who Roll Dice. Yes, it is based off the video game Hyper Light Drifter. It is the official tabletop role-playing game. It is so good. You should definitely check that out. And yeah, keep an eye on our Twitter at Friends Roll Dice for any other updates. Like our casting call for Urban Shadows that went up today, that we have in it already some amazing applicants for, so you should 100% check that out. Reliable Elliot on Twitter is our GM for that, so yeah, go check out the casting call. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think we're done for now. We're going to take probably a bit of a nap at the end of October, and then hit November running. But yes, with that being said, we'll go ahead and roll a credit reel and then send the love that you've given us elsewhere. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging with us and watching and chilling. Stay safe, keep well, keep hydrated, keep medicated, keep moving forward. And we will see you next time.